Laker fans, welcome to another preview video. We're going to get to Orlando here in a second, kicking off a road trip. But first, we got to talk about what happened against the Bulls. I mean, that was, let's keep it blunt, a pathetic performance. The Lakers gave up 146 points. They were scoring the ball offensively, but no one could stop anyone defensively. JJ Redick said after the game, I mean, they weren't even contesting shots and not even putting a hand up. I mean, there's simple things that whether you played basketball in high school, college, in the pros, or you just shot around with your pops after school. I mean, simple things like closing out, putting a hand up, putting a hand in the passing lane. I mean, things that the Lakers were not doing and didn't really look interested in doing against the Bulls. Again, it's one game. We're not going to overreact. I think this team is still lethal. When they're fully healthy, they're going to be a handful for a lot of people in the Western Conference and potentially winning the whole thing. But last night was a microcosm of what happens when you don't take a team seriously, because the Bulls are 30-40, have been playing a lot better basketball. But you look at them and go, the Lakers should roll them. They're favored by 10.5 points in before the game. But you give any team in the NBA, the worst teams in the NBA have really good scores on them. And you see that in Kobe White, we talked about in the last preview video. Amazing player, 36. Buzelis with 31. They had 7 players in double figures, and another one had 9. So out of like the 9 guys that got legit minutes, I mean, almost 8 players in double digits. Just lazy. It felt like they weren't that interested in playing, maybe looking kind of ahead to the road trip, and kind of thought that they were going to walk in there and just run over them. But I got to give credit to the Bulls. They came out to play. I expect the Lakers to have a bounce back performance when they see them later this week in Chicago. But man, again, 146 points is not X's and O's. That is effort. And a lot of those shots could have been prevented by simply putting a hand up. I mean, it looked like a shoot around out there when the managers and the assistants are throwing the ball, because it was not an acceptable performance. I expect them to rebound from this. It can be a wake-up call kind of before the playoffs. JJ also kind of mentioned in post-game, he said, I'm not saying that the Lakers did this, but it's easy to think that just because everyone's healthy, Rui and LeBron are back, that you're going to go back to how you were playing in the 7-game winning streak, like when the Lakers were rolling everybody. And it's like, no, you have to go out and win these games and take it. And the credit to the Bulls, again, they played a hell of a game. We'll see them again later this week. Heading to Orlando, kicking off the road trip. The Lakers hopefully get some revenge in this game. So last time the two teams played early in the year, Franz Wagner hit a game-winning 3, go ahead. They won 119-118. Frustrating game for the Lakers in that one. I remember talking about it because it was a game that the Lakers should have won. They were up 10-12 with about 4 or 5 minutes remaining in the game, and the Magic just kind of kept creeping away, and they couldn't miss the end of the game. So credit to them. They really played well in that one and stole one from the Lakers, so hopefully they can get it back here. Looking at the injury reports before we get into the teams. On the Lakers side of things, LeBron is probable, so that's a good sign. Rui is the only one that's questionable. I came back in the game against the Bulls, didn't make much of an impact. He's questionable play, still dealing with his injury. And then for them, Trevelin Queen is questionable with an ankle injury, and Cole Anthony, who's a very good guard, is questionable with a toe injury. This team looks different than when we last saw them. Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner are both out for the season, have knee and ACL injuries. Before they got injured, there's 4 players on the Magic who average double digits, and that's Banchero, Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, and Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs about 16 points a game, Mo Wagner about 13 points a game. So you've seen them slide a little bit. The Magic are a really good young team. I think them and the Pistons in the Eastern Conference are definitely going to be a handful for years to come. They got a lot of young talent. And this team, when healthy, could be a headache for teams at the top. But without Suggs, without Wagner, taking your 3rd and 4th leading scorers on the team off, you've seen them drop. They're down to the 8th seed. They're actually right in front of the Bulls. Two games in front of them in the play-in. So, but they are in the playoffs right now. Their last 5 games, they beat Washington, lost to Houston, beat the Cavs, lost to Minnesota, and beat the Pelicans. So they didn't really do the Lakers any favors with losing to Houston and Minnesota, but at the same time, the Lakers didn't help them out with Chicago. So, but around out the starting lineup, Banchero, unbelievable, becoming an all-star, averages about 25 points a game. Franz Wagner, about 24 points a game. So the team really kind of flows through those two. Rounding out the starting lineup, KCP, former Laker, we all know what he does, brings an excellent defensive-minded edge to the team, and had some great games as a Laker, had some great games against the Lakers with Denver. He kind of the veteran presence on the team. Wendell Carter Jr., really nice young big. They have 2 really nice young bigs in this game. Wendell Carter Jr. out of Duke, he averaged about 9 points a game and about 8 rebounds. really nice young player. The other one, Goga Batadze, comes off the bench, really talented as well, hangs around the same kind of averages. So it'll be interesting. Something to watch in this game is, we've talked about it all year, teams with multiple bigs. How do the Lakers handle this with Jackson Hayes? When Jackson Hayes goes out, I expect them to have Batadze or Carter on the floor at all times. Does that mean that if Rui plays, he's going to have to drop? If Rui doesn't play, LeBron might have to run a little bit of center. Maybe you do the kind of Jared Vanderbilt route against Jokic where you put a Jared Vanderbilt as a forward on him and try to confront him a little bit. We'll see, but that could go a long way in telling who wins this game. Corey Joseph rounds out the starting lineup for them. And off the bench, they have a couple really nice young players that I think are going to be fun ones to watch in the years to come. Tristan De Silva out of Colorado, really good young player, went on a little run in the tourney with Colorado last year, averages about 8 points a game. Anthony Black, I think, is a really underrated player in the Eastern Conference. Young player out of Arkansas, averages about 9 points a game, was really good at Arkansas. Been on the bench because of the depth of the Magic, especially early in the year with Suggs, Mo Wagner, Franz Wagner, Banchero. So they're kind of playing his position. So he's been coming off the bench. But with the Suggs and the Banchero or Wagner injury, he's been getting a lot more time and really taking advantage of it. I expect him to be a starter in the Eastern Conference here very soon. If not on the Magic, if they can't keep all and pay all these guys, because they have a lot of talented young players. Jonathan Isaac rounds out the bench along with Gary Harris. So again, a game the Lakers should win. The Lakers should win this game. They're the better team than the Magic, but how are they going to handle the big situation? And I expect that kind of Bulls loss to really motivate the Lakers and probably come out in this game and really play with a lot of fire, because going back to it, giving up 146 points is embarrassing, especially for a team that was number one in defensive efficiency coming into the game. It was the worst defensive performance of the year, especially considering who was available. They had everyone. It wasn't like Jared Vanderbilt and Finney Smith and everyone was out. And you pointed at that. Really unacceptable. Home stretch here. We're coming to the playoffs. Obviously, 11, 12 games left. This is a big week for the Lakers. So you have Orlando, then you got the Pacers and the Bulls. So Eastern Conference opponents. And then the weekend, you got Memphis and Houston. So Memphis, Houston, Denver, you're all looking at there in the Western Conference, trying to get the 2 seed. The Rockets have been on an absolute heater recently. Memphis and Denver have had a couple slip-ups, just like the Lakers did against the Bulls. But going back to, we've talked about this in every video. Nuggets season series, the Lakers are 2-2 on, so no tiebreaker there. Currently, the Lakers would have the tiebreaker. It gets kind of way down in the weeds, so we'll see how that plays out. Memphis, the Lakers are 2-1 over right now, but they'll play on Saturday next week. So the Grizzlies can either tie it or the Lakers can win the tiebreaker. And Houston, the Lakers are 0-1 against. They'll play them 2 more times, once in Houston and once in LA. So Lakers really need these tiebreakers. It's so knotted up, and I think it's going to really matter where you slot and what teams you have to face. Do you have to face a hot Golden State team in the first round, or do you maybe get a Clippers or someone else? I mean, Golden State and Minnesota have been on a tear at the bottom of the bracket. Oklahoma City might have some challenges at the top, and if chalk holds, you get Oklahoma City playing Denver, and the Lakers play someone else and get away from the Western Conference Finals. So that would be kind of a dream scenario for the Lakers. But we'll see what all that happens. It would be great to host a home playoff series for the first time in over a decade. So appreciate everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Alan's going to get you guys on the morning show tomorrow, and then the post-game show doing thing as usual. And as always, hopefully we're talking about a Laker W in the post-game. So appreciate everybody for tuning in, and go Lakers.